I would like to talk for a moment about Sarah Boone and something that got brought up in trial. So, Brian Boone was listed as a witness for both the state and the defense. Now, of course, the state called him, the defense did not. And the defense did have something to say about Brian Boone. They brought it up to the judge that he might have a stake in this case because Brian Boone is attempting to not pay Sarah Boone alimony. Remember, her alimony is $1,000 a month. He did not want to pay it to her while she's in jail for second-degree murder. And there was the back and forth between the judge and the state and the defense, and it came out that he doesn't have to. It's all stayed right now by a court decision until they see what happens with Sarah Boone's second-degree murder trial, which at this point, we all know the answer for that. Now, a lot of people have asked me to please cover the Sarah Boone letters from this attempt to get alimony. If I go through here, you'll notice the dates, and if you look here, you're going to see starting in 4/12/2021 letter, 12/17/2021 letter, and there's multiple letters as we go down. But what you'll also notice is that on the right there, those are orange. These are non-public documents. What does that mean? That means I'm the public and I can't get them. Why? Well, if we go to the end, my guess is it's due to the request here. And this is a guess because I did Google, and that's all my knowledge is of Florida divorces is Google. And it appears that all of these documents should be public by default, except they can be made private, made non-public, if there's a reputational reason. You could basically make an argument to a judge. My expectation is that the argument was made to a judge by Sarah Boone because it would affect her second-degree murder trial. That would be my guess. And I would guess one of these orders here, if not this request, somewhere in here, is something that made it non-public. Now, with that being said, people did go through these previously, and I didn't follow the case at the time close enough to do so myself. I did find someone covering one letter on YouTube, and I covered it on my channel. I covered the letter by being able to see the letter through their channel. And in that letter, it was Sarah Boone listing all the different days she gave out letters. This is all in the playlist, by the way. And Sarah Boone had some more grievances. It wasn't just the money, you see. She didn't like that Brian Boone was mean to her and talked about how she wasn't a priority. Her son was the priority. Sarah Boone didn't like the fact that her son talked down to her and was mean to her. She wanted a judge to intervene and force them to be nicer to her. In addition, Sarah still wanted her $1,000 a month alimony. Now, if I become aware that these become public again, I'll gladly read them. I'd love to. I would love to see Sarah Boone, especially over time. If you just caught up with Sarah Boone with the actual trial, you might not be aware of her letters. I have, in the early part of my playlist, my Sarah Boone letters playlist, I read through every single letter that Sarah Boone submitted to the court in her second-degree murder trial. If that interests you. Sarah Boone, as it went on, she got more of an attitude, got more full of herself. She started to do, in my opinion, she started writing in cursive to try to appear more fancy. Sarah Boone started to use bigger words that, sure, they make sense, but why are you using them here? And eventually she would just get to the point of writing dictionary definitions for words into her letters. And of course, we all laugh at her letters, but we have to admit they worked in a way. They got her a lawyer. She did that advertisement, to me was circus style, and she got James Owens and she got the circus she wanted. And I'd love to see how she did that in this case. I would love to see how Sarah Boone portrays herself in why she deserves $1,000 a month with all of her needs met in jail for second-degree murder. Because my opinion is Sarah Boone wanted it for a very simple reason. She probably told the judge she wanted it for commissary. I get the feeling she wanted it to have it, so she believed she was going to get out. Sarah Boone believed she would be found not guilty. Sarah Boone believed she would get out and have a massive nest egg of money because she doesn't have to pay anything. She's in jail. And would be able to set off and go find herself a new George. And then, hey, maybe take the plea and, add a few more years, a few more thousands of dollars. Doesn't have to work. But that didn't happen. We all know how the trial ended. But this is something that I am regretful for. I regret not being able to cover these letters for you. And I don't know anywhere that has them. I did a look around. I wanted to try to find maybe someone had like a repository of Sarah Boone stuff, maybe a website following the case. I know some people have done those in the past that like have their own system or listing of all the major important documents, and I couldn't find it. So to me, it's lost media. 7 pages, 3/20/2023. What did Sarah Boone have to say for 7 pages? It's lost media. And I'm going to keep trying to check periodically. Obviously, I'm not going to check daily like I was doing while covering the case normally. But I'll try to keep it in the rotation to remember to check periodically to see, just in case this non-public goes away. It might not. I don't know how this works, because technically, if Sarah Boone gave the reason for her trial and we get through the sentencing, we have the verdict, I guess that might be enough to unseal it, technically, maybe. But if she argues that it should stay that way for appeals, that's years. This won't be unsealed until no one remembers who Sarah Boone is. And at that point, it would probably never be unsealed anyway. Yeah, thought I would explain just real quick-ish what we're missing out on, what I wish we had. What I wish I'd realized. You don't appreciate it till it's gone. I still am, I thought about doing a video today, thinking back on the Sarah Boone verdict. I still kind of want to do one, but I think I want to hold off at least a little longer. Because it's kind of like what parts, in a lot of ways, I wonder what parts of that closing from either side stick in my mind. What moments really were the sticking points? And you won't know that without time. But I've got some other things I might cover either today or tomorrow. There is an actor from movies, from the cartoon Bob's Burgers, who is going to be sentenced soon for January 6th. And he is accusing that he is being treated unfairly in his sentencing memorandum. So if you're interested in that, I'm thinking I'm going to cover that at some point. So make sure you subscribe and check back in for it.